It's the Titanfall story that just keeps on going, and today, Respawn have finally spoken out. You guys wanted me to cover this and you're very curious as to what I was going to say, and no, I'm not going to hold anything back. For the last few months, Titanfall 3 leaks have been swirling around. Other Titanfall universe games have been said to be worked on, and then just in the last few days, people actually once again started saying Titanfall 3 is happening. Over the last few months, I've been combing through information to find out just what is true and what is speculation. After the latest news of the cancellations, we have a lot to go through. Now, I love Titanfall, you guys love Titanfall, and it seems like even the Respawn executives like the playable build of the new Titanfall game that was being worked on. Yeah, that's right. Apparently there was a playable build of a new Titanfall game that had internal developers and executives alike very excited. Now, whether this was Titanfall 3 or the new Titanfall universe game that features Titans, or the rumored extraction shooter Titanfall game, and more on that in a minute, we only had rumors and speculation. What we do know is that EA has destroyed 400 jobs, 100 at Respawn, and cancelled every single thing Titanfall related that was being worked on. The official report reads cancelled a early Titanfall game, although the information may indicate multiple Titanfall titles have all been shelved indefinitely. Why? To raise their bottom line to appease investors. By getting rid of 400 jobs, their earning projects will show a far higher profit margin for this quarter's financial report. The official release reads, at Respawn, bold ideas, creative risks, and passionate storytelling have always defined who we are. That spirit has carried us through incredible highs and sometimes through difficult changes too. As we sharpen our focus for the future, we've made the decision to step away from 2 early incubation projects and make some targeted adjustments across Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. These decisions aren't easy, and we are deeply grateful to every teammate affected. Their creativity and contributions have helped build Respawn into what it is today. We're offering meaningful support to those impacted, including exploring new opportunities within EA. Looking ahead, our commitment to player-first experiences remains unchanged. Bullshit. Innovation has always been at the core of Respawn's identity, and it continues to drive how we build the future, from evolving live experiences to crafting new worlds and stories. For Apex Legends, that means not just delivering competitive, innovative seasons, but expanding what Apex can be. Side note, it would not surprise me if a lot of the Titanfall assets they were working on in some capacity make their way into Apex now. We're also investing in what's next for the franchise. Bold experiences that push the boundaries of competitive play while staying true to the spirit of competition, creativity, and integrity that our community expects. I swear every major corporation always says competition, competitive, everything has to be competitive all of the time. Have you guys noticed that too? And all I'm gonna say is nice corporate bullshit statement that you're laying off employees and terrified of the backlash because people are going to call you out for it. Record profits year over year, and yet you lay off people because you want to bump up those expected profit margins for the investors' earning reports. It's pathetic. After this information broke, leakers, gaming insiders, and pretty much every news outlet set out to find more information to see how affected Titanfall as a franchise was. And well, I'm just gonna say it and rip off the band-aid. All of the leaks we've seen from Titanfall, including the new content within the universe, is now dead for the foreseeable future. All future games within the universe are now shelved entirely. The Titanfall extraction shooter codenamed R7 is dead, and even though I wasn't even excited for an extraction shooter Titanfall game, it just shows how horribly EA, Respawn, and really the executives treat Titanfall. Even the secret work-in-progress Titanfall experimental game that featured Titans, that's been cancelled indefinitely too. Why? Because of the horrible decisions made surrounding EA's other titles, they have decided to axe projects unrelated to those franchises to save costs. As I said, 400 positions were eliminated in total, 100 at Respawn, and I even found a developer from Respawn saying they intended to be in stable work on this new Titanfall project for the next few years. This is now no longer the case. Ben Goslin said, after dodging 3 years of layoffs, I finally got hit, right after moving on to a project I thought was stable for a few years. To say the Titanfall franchise at this point is cursed would be the understatement of the century. We finally hear of leaks of a new game, an extraction shooter, and it has many modern mechanics such as battle passes that make people very hesitant. That is the silver lining to all of this. Knowing corporate executives, that planned extraction shooter, if it did perform badly, they'd be like, huh? See? Titanfall isn't a viable franchise. And then you'd never get another Titanfall game again. That's the only good news that's come out of all of this. On the flip side of that, it seems like there was more than one planned Titanfall project. Not only was the extraction one canned, but the one that was still in relative early development from Ben Goslin featuring actual Titans, that's also gone, and that is such a shame. What I have to say about all of this this over the last 10 years is how Titanfall has been treated as a franchise. The executives are so out of touch, it's ridiculous really. Have they not seen that over a decade later, if anyone makes a video or even talks about the Titanfall franchise, millions of people are interested, and I mean millions. For example, look at the numbers from the tweets I grabbed. 1.5 million impressions in under a day. Some posts had 2, 3, even 4 million impressions. All of them almost unanimously said they'd love a new Titanfall game. People love this franchise, and what's even crazier is you guys, the executives, you enjoyed the preview of the latest Titanfall project you played, and you still cancelled it. Chasing short-term profits is not the way to go, as in the long term, it's going to greatly harm the overall stock value of your brand as a whole. Again, everybody's reaction to this news should be evidence that you guys made the wrong decision and that a lot of people want a new Titanfall game. Now, as extra information, this isn't even the first time this has happened. Back in 2023, Titanfall 3 was cancelled for Apex Legends. It was worked on for 10 months, but because the executives at Respawn and EA both felt Apex was more lucrative, Titanfall 3 was shelved indefinitely. A couple years before that, there was another Titanfall spin-off that was in the works, and even that got cancelled due to Apex Legends being the main focus. And again, Apex was more lucrative. By the way, when they say more lucrative, they simply mean more microtransactions. How much more can we milk our player base without them complaining? Ironically, Apex has had a lot of negative sentiment in the last 12 months because players don't feel listened to. With the Titanfall cancellation, this has just made it worse. Now, in saying all of that, and you guys wanted me to cover this too, with all of the leaks that came out, any future Titanfall game would have had all of those modern game mechanics inserted into it. Battle passes, FOMO, microtransactions, different matchmaking systems that are considerably different than 10 years ago. For me, the big loss is that I'd love a new Titanfall campaign. In saying that, if they were making an extraction shooter, look no further than Marathon. People wanted a Marathon campaign. Existing IP, huge lore backstory, and people have felt Marathon hasn't met expectations in this regard. There's no reason to think Titanfall would have been any different. The biggest slap in the face, and this really is the exclamation point to this entire video, is that Apex Legends is adding a new legend named Sparrow. Image on screen here. They laid off the developer who made him the day after it was revealed. One day later, you lose your job. This is horrible. Like, truly, it's almost as bad as the Sony situation, laying off developers who did above and beyond the Call of Duty. They made all the sales expectations, they did an amazing job, fired. Big business doesn't care. They're greedy, they'll do whatever they can, even if it's at the cost of people who care. Overall, this news is bittersweet. New Titanfall would be amazing, but a Titanfall extraction shooter with modern day mechanics, yeah. In saying that, a new Titanfall featuring Titans that had long-term plans on the other hand, that's disappointing. But now, I guess, we'll never know what that was. On the whole, it seems like Titanfall as a franchise for now is officially shelved. Apex will continue to see updates, but it's unclear what the future of even that game will be either. I know a lot of you guys will have a lot to say about this as we've covered all of the leaks, all of the news, this entire story from start to finish. My main point is it really sucks that the executives consistently make the wrong choices on behalf of the players. So many decisions that would have not only benefit their player base, but the wider gaming community consistently squandered, and gamers are worse off because of it. In any case, I hope this video was informative. It is a shitty end to the latest Titanfall news for sure. We really thought this was the time. We're finally getting a new Titanfall game. There was multiple Titanfall things in the works it seems, and now it's all gone. I guess I should say thank you for watching. I wish we got better news, and I'll see you guys later.